Hi, this is Stefan Gonik, Soulmate Attraction Mentor and founder of the Soulmate Attraction Academy from single-to-soulmate.me. Welcome to Love Talk Q&A, the place to be to get your questions answered about finding and keeping the love of your life. Now, this episode of Love Talk Q&A, I'm going to talk about a big, huge dating mistake I see lots of people making all the time. And this mistake is women trying to be attractive to men. Or similarly, men who are trying to be attractive to women. Okay? Now, every time I say this to a room full of women, I get this look on people's face like, like what? You know, they say, well, so what should I do? Should I stop shaving my legs and armpits and stop using deodorant? Or like what? I mean, what are you saying to me here? Stop trying to be attractive to men? I mean, of course I want to be attractive to men. And men kind of look at me like, just give me this serious look. So the truth is, the more you do things to try and be attractive to men, if you're a woman or trying to be attractive, gay man or whatever, the more things you do to try and be attractive to men, the further it takes you from your soulmate. So it's a bit of a radical idea. So what am I talking about here? Well, there's a lot of dating advice out there that is all about that very thing. They'll even, announce it on the video, whatever. How to make men fall in love with you, or how to be more attractive to men, or how to this or that with, men. And the thing you have to ask yourself is, who are we talking about here when they say men? I'm going to help you, give you advice on how to be attractive to men. Who are these men? Well, the only way they could possibly give you some sort of general advice to be more attractive to men is to be talking about men in general, right? And so they're going to try and think of, well, what do men in general want? And now men want a very wide range of things. So there really is no universal attractor factor for men, for all men, right? So what they're really doing is they're taking some subgroup of the general population of men and going, well, I've interviewed a bunch of men and this is what this subgroup of men like, so I recommend you do more of that, and then you'll be more attractive to that subgroup of men. But is that what you want? Or do you want to be attractive to your soulmate, right? Is your soulmate just like this subgroup of men that this advice is for? In fact, the very definition of a soulmate is someone who is attracted to everything that makes you uniquely you. They don't want some generally attractive woman if they're a man or whatever, right? Or if you're a man trying to be attractive to women, your soulmate is not going to want you to be like all other men. Your soulmate wants you to be exactly you, because that's who they're going to be most attracted to. This drives me so crazy, Let me give you an example. All this stuff of this sort of generic advice, right? The only way you can be attractive to this sort of group is to give generic advice. And generic advice doesn't work for your soulmate. So here's some examples. I was talking to somebody recently about her dating profile. And so she gave me a quote from somebody, I don't know where she got it from. She said, I read that from someplace, that men don't like long profiles on a dating site. So I kept my profile real short. I had my picture and I had just a few sentences. That's it. And I was thinking, okay, men don't like long profiles and they don't like reading long profiles. So I asked her, I want you to think about your soulmate for a minute. Would your soulmate like a short profile or a long profile? You might want to think about this for yourself for a second. Would your soulmate want a long profile where he or she could read a lot about you, or a short profile where really it's just kind of, your dating site profile just has your picture and a few things? I mean, what can you say in a few sentences, right? And so her answer was, well, actually, yeah, I would think that my soulmate would want a long profile where I could describe myself. It's like, Yes, exactly. Now, am I saying men like long profiles? I'm not giving generic dating advice. This is not about that. The whole point of attracting your soulmate is to be the most you can be, to be most visibly you, right? We don't want to hide. I mean, think about it, going back to this generic advice. So if somebody's giving generic advice, the only way the only outcome of that is to be similar to other people, right? Because it's the same advice to everybody. Every woman hearing or reading this advice is getting the same advice. So they're all becoming the same. So it becomes vanilla. If you think of ice cream flavors, vanilla. Now, if you think about vanilla, it's a nice flavor. Everybody tends to like vanilla, but it's not an exciting flavor. People aren't passionate about vanilla. They go, well, it's nice. It's particularly nice as a substrate for a sundae where I can add all sorts of really cool ingredients, but just by itself, it's more of a base, right? People are passionate about unique flavors typically. Like I like banana ice cream. I'm idiosyncratic that way. I've met very few people who like banana ice cream, but I love banana ice cream. It's my favorite, right? And then there's these other crazy Ben & Jerry flavors that are like, wow, these really unusual things. People are passionate about those flavors. Well, that's the way it works for us with our soulmate too, is that they're passionate about who you are. Specifically, everything that makes you uniquely you. So I go back to my original statement. The more you try and be attractive to the gender you're interested in general, men in general, women in general, the further it takes you away from your soulmate. Because how is your soulmate going to even recognize you if you're trying to be a generic woman attractive to men or a generic man attractive to women? How is your soulmate going to even see that you're you, right? So I give the opposite advice, right? Focus on overcoming any fears you have of being uniquely yourself. And, boldly be you. Don't try and be something different than you. Don't try and follow generic advice that's going to make you act in some different way than who you are. Do the opposite. Act more you, right? Now, the only thing that keeps us from doing that is our fear of doing that. Because lots of times we think, well, I want to be attractive to men, right? Lots of times when I give advice about dating profiles, people, they'll say, well, I'm afraid to put that down because what if guys don't like that? Or what if women don't like that? I'll say, good that women don't like that or men don't like that. You want to weed them out, right? You want to put down the things that are unique about you. Or if you're in public, you want to be uniquely you. So, it's our fears that hold us back from being ourselves. We're afraid that we'll be rejected. We're afraid that people won't like us, things like that. It's very understandable. I had that fear so intense for many years, I couldn't even get within 20 feet of a woman that I was most interested in at a party or something. It's like I'd see her way across the room and it's like, no, I can't go there. So, fear is what holds us back. And so the true answer here is to clear out the fears that are holding you back from being the most boldly, fully you as possible. So I encourage you to reject most generic advice about how to be more attractive to the sex you're interested in. And I encourage you instead to be yourself, recognizing that it's your soulmate who's going to love everything about you. And the other people, if they don't like what you're being or doing or whatever, that's great. We want to get rid of them. We want to weed them out until we get to, oh, there you are. Hey, I'm over here. I see you. And hopefully they're doing the same thing. And he's like, and I can see you too. There, I see you. Right? We want to be able to see each other, not hide behind generic behavior. That's just, it just so drives me crazy when I see all these different things, all these recommendations about how to be. I say, don't be those ways. Be you. Okay then. So this is Stefan Gonig. Hope you like this episode, and I'll see you on the next episode of Love Talk Q&A. Did you like this video? If so, click on the like button below, subscribe to this channel, and spread the love to your friends. And if you have questions about your love life, Please submit them in the comments below, and your question just might appear in an upcoming episode of Love Talk Q&A. Also, if you would like to understand the 3 key blocks to finding love and how to attract your soulmate now, sign up for the free Finding the Love You Want mini course. Well, thank you for hanging out with me, and remember, no matter how long you've been trying, you really can have the life and love you long for. This is Stefan Gonick, International Love Coach from FindingTheLoveYouWant.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time on Love Talk Q&A.